go. Oh, what a week of talking it's been. Talk and interviews, talk on radio shows, some stuff revealed, sometimes not. One-on-one interviews, non-taped interviews. We're going to talk about it all. Fanboys Unleashed starts now. Happy Friday, everybody. Good evening, everybody. It's Mr. First Down here along with Bradley Mangold. We are Fanboys Unleashed, and we are Titans fans that are facing this offseason with as much positivity and can-do-iveness than anything, if that's even a word. I don't know why my halo light is behaving to where everything is dark and murky, but it is not all as well. It's a little brighter. Maybe I just got to lean back. Everything is it's interesting this time around because we have a lot of interviews happen this week. We got Chad Brinker on the radio show at 10 a.m. Ramona, Kayla, and Will on 104.5 The Zone. It's good to reference these things. And it was a good interview. Then we have the off-camera but quote-only interview with Chad Brinker in a totally different room. That was in a conference room, I think is what Easton Free said. Then we got Borgonzi got introduced to everybody. That was all fun. And then Borgonzi was on the radio on 3HL on 104.5 The Zone. Then Easton let out the Hounds of Hell and released everything with a one-on-one interview with Brian Callahan where Brian revealed a pretty decent amount. And I got to hand it to him, Bradley. He was pretty honest about himself and his coaching. It was not a bad interview. So welcome this evening. Bradley, your thoughts on all the press conferences and interviews this week? My goodness.
It was definitely a lot to keep up with, but very professional, very good job by Brinker.
Brinker reeks confidence. He absolutely reeks confidence.
You know, and I'm confident in Brinker. I don't mind being him. I don't mind him being at charge of the helm. Mike, I'm pretty sure, learned a great value of things with Kansas City, of course, having the best head coach and quarterback duo in the league. We're going to talk about that later in the show. But, I mean, it's a good thing. I just hope – Amy's my only worry. I just want her to be patient. I think this is a better shot to become better success than what Rand tried to do with this team. Definitely going to be interesting. I like what Mike said about the quarterback position. That's something I'm going to be breaking down in this show again because it's going to be –
It was a pretty solid evaluation, though, I thought.
I mean, like I said, I watch A to Z too, and I agree with Austin. One thing, and I said this numerous times over: if you're not going to be you got to have some college success to be even decent, good in the pros. I mean, how many great quarterbacks are great in college and sucked in the pros? I mean, that just shows you how the gap between college and NFL is. But Chad Brinker, Mike, Brian Callahan, I liked every single one of their interviews. You know, obviously Brian Callahan's going to have.
That was a pretty revealing interview. That was a pretty revealing interview. By the way, why is my man dressed up like he's a bum on the street in the interview? Do we not have heat in the offices? They're like, it's off season. You get nothing.
I know. He had a little gray in his beard there, but that just happens. You know, he has a
I was just waiting. Hey, Brian, how was coaching your first year? I've seen things, man. I've seen things.
Right.
You know?
Well,
So
that's
it
why
was
when
like,
people say they're like, how would you describe the Titans in one word? It's the Titans. You know, we just do Titan stuff. I mean, we haven't been relevant in a long time. It just sucks. It's just that phase. I mean, look at today. Bobby Slowick of the Texans got fired. I did not see that coming at all. That was.
I think I kind of saw it coming, but I had guys. I have my friends over in Houston that said he was a lot of the problem with the offense. So I think they said he was the issue.
That offensive line with Houston was bad this year, so it's hard.
It was, but I don't think they liked kind of the conservative play calling that was going on. Not enough deep throws, all that fun stuff. So,
Jaguars situation was funny.
Dude, okay, we'll break it. We'll have to talk. We're gonna have to talk some Jags here, just for a second.
That was insane,
y'all. I haven't read the article from Adam Schefter yet, but apparently broke it down, and it's got people just going absolutely crazy. That situation, is way worse than anything we're going through right now. That is
and
crazy.
Mr. Dan Orlovsky.
We do not.
That was the dumbest take I've ever seen. That was worse than the Dak Prescott trade.
But there was nothing else added to the trade. It was just Trevor Lawrence.
Just Trevor Lawrence.
Just Trevor Lawrence. That is clickbait. Damn,
that's why I do not listen to Dan Orlovsky.
I actually like Dan Orlovsky, but this is off. This is like what? Why do you say these things? Like that's why would you say something so dumb but so brave all at the same time? So I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I couldn't tell you.
I saw
just
the Steelers
absolutely
one too.
Bobby, I know you're doing that because Roman Reigns is your favorite wrestler, but I hate that man. So you can just get that out of here. Anyway, I didn't even notice he snuck in. Okay, let's go ahead and get this out of the way because I feel we're going to have to ask this every week as I rub my freshly shaved head. All right. Today is January 24th. It is 8:11 p.m. Central Time, 9:11 Eastern Time for our dear friend Brad. The year is 2025 and the year of our Lord. Bradley, what are we doing with that first-round draft pick?
Here we go, guys. Buckle up. So I've seen mock drafts. I say at least 40% I've seen have Travis Hunter number one to us. Here's my take on that. Generational talent. Yes, he is. He's definitely good at football. I'm not saying this is
definitely good at football. I will accept that answer.
Right. He's not bad at football. If we draft him number one overall, and my cat's photobombing me here in the background.
Meow.
I'm not saying it's a bad draft pick. I just think we have too many issues to draft whatever position he's going to play. Because CB, he's not better than Will Johnson out of Michigan. Receiver, there's quite a few receivers in college who are better than him coming out into the pros.
I think he's a cornerback. I fully think he's a cornerback.
I feel like he'll definitely play some offensive snaps. Like I saw articles say he's going to be the Shohei Ohtani of the NFL. I said no, he's not.
No,
he's not. Baseball and football, way two different sports. You know, Shohei Ohtani can pitch one day. He'll have plenty of rest before he pitches again, and then he plays designated hitter. Way different than receiver / CB play. So, I mean, I'm not saying he's not worth a number one overall pick. I just don't think he'd be good for our situation because the elephant in the room is the quarterback. I mean,
it is everything. Borgonzi talked about it by name. Like the quarterback position has to be solidified.
And sorry, Titans fans, come at me. Stop blaming the offensive line. Stop with the offensive line talk. The offensive line got better as the season went on. Go check out the stats. The offensive line got better as the season went on. it's not. Did you guys not watch the Week 18 Texans game where he struggled against backups? Come on, it's not the offensive line's fault. Can the offensive line be better? Of course.
So
I just don't trust his decision making. That's the
no,
biggest issue.
I don't either. So I am still on team trade out, and let me explain why. This pulled from our good friend Wes. As far as the draft mentioned, he hopes to have 30 picks over the next few years, with 12 being in the top 100. With only 2 top 100 picks in the 2025 draft, definitely makes trading back a real possibility. If he truly believes that, they're trading back. And I think he does believe it. So I think he's getting out of there. And maybe it's just to the Giants or whatever. So you can still grab Abdul Carter or a wide receiver or something here. But I think they're getting out of there. I really believe that. Because what have we heard? We have talked about patience. We have talked about waiting, building a foundation. All these things feel like a trade out. Get your picks, get better, make the whole team better. And I agree with it. 100%. Yeah, I don't believe in any of these quarterbacks. I don't care. I know we're in this magical period where the quarterbacks, all of a sudden their flaws all went away and everything's amazing. Cam Ward is the second coming and blah, 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 whatever. I hear this every year. With every quarterback that comes out. I don't buy it. Trade out. Make this team better through the many picks you have. That's the Packer way. It's the Packer way. That's how they've always done it.
Well, we can break it down by Dan Orlowski, who said, hey, we should trade Trevor Lawrence. One, no, he's the franchise quarterback of Jacksonville. They paid him all that money. Two, they won't trade him to a division rival. So that's And then there's the Cowboys trade. That one could make sense. I mean, I wouldn't mind Dak. He's not bad. He struggles in the playoffs, but we'll need more than just Dak Prescott. And then I saw one today where they said Steelers will give us 2 first-round draft picks.
Here, brother-in-law.
TJ Watt and George Pickens for our first pick. I'm like, no. Steelers would not do that. They're not going to give up.
I'm taking draft picks. Draft picks. I don't care what you give me. I'm taking draft picks. That's I don't see anybody that keeps saying all these players and all this stuff. I don't care. I need draft picks. I got to have them. So you can offer me whatever, and no one's giving me TJ Watt. I could see maybe you getting something for Parsons if they wanted to get rid of Parsons or the Cowboys and whatnot. But I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think anyone's really going to do it. I think the Raiders would. I think the Giants would. I doubt the Cowboys want to trade all
Raiders
of their
with the big head coaching hire today.
Right. Pete Carroll. Congratulations to him. 72 years old. A
Tom
3
Brady,
possibly
Pete
4-year deal. A 3-year, possibly 4-year deal for a 72-year-old coach. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think he is what the I think he is aggressive. Now, I guess we should probably move on to the Callahan interview with Easton Freeze, which was a good one. He talked about that the bottom line. If I was the Titans, I signed Justin Fields to trade back to build the roster. I agree. I'm in. Sign me up.
Dream scenario.
Either that or get your hands on Derek Carr or something like that. Something along those lines.
Jay, stick around, bud. I got a lovely little spice noogie coming our way.
Spice noogie.
Spice noogie. Spice noogie.
That is my brother-in-law Jay Wright, known Colts fan, but a good guy. But yeah. So we go through this interview with Brian Callahan, which was actually better than I thought it was. He talked about his relationship with ownership and whatever else, and stuff like that. It was a pretty candid conversation. Didn't really feel like anything was getting held back. It was pretty much all out there. But we got to the part we wanted to know about: what happened to Will Levis this year in the quarterbacks. And from what he said, Will Levis is not what he envisioned it to have his quarterback, which is starting to put more in focus, I think, Ran Carthon and what went terribly wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just a mess. And I actually kind of felt for him in this interview. Like, he was just trying to make things work. Traylon Burks was a first-round draft pick. He looked in shape. He was ready to go. Couldn't do it. You know, it was just one hit after the other of him trying to make things work, and it just wasn't working. Now, obviously, I'm happy he got another chance to. I'm happy Brinker really sat down with him telling you, now tell me what you need, and I'm going to do my best to give it to you, and stuff like that. I think that's a wonderful thing. But it was a very good interview. I suggest you go watch it. Easton has it posted. It's on A to Z Sports channel, I guess, their Facebook page.
Don't be dissing our head coach. He was cold. Don't mind his wardrobe. He was cold. Let him wear what he wants to wear.
Yeah, I don't know. Easton chose like the worst picture too. Oh, he's just like, hey, he's that guy by the dumpster asking for change, you know? It was kind of creepy. But we'll move on here. Borgonzi, everybody. And you can't do the Northeastern Italian accent because he's from Boston. Boston. I wanted him to say departed, khaki, all that stuff, because it was there. It was pretty good. He is a top GM candidate, and he kind of reeks of it, to be honest with you. He kind of bucked up to the idea of leadership and whatever else, which it's shocking that we all dove in, all of us, me included, dove into this thing of why would anybody want this job? Brinker's in charge of everything. Well, apparently it's not that big of a deal. So if the top GM guy says it's not that big of a deal, it's not that big of a deal. He's not sweating it or whatever. But I think it's just so funny because most media had us believe that no one was going to want this job. You got the top GM candidate. So shows what we know. Borgonzi got up there. He said a lot of the same things, the drafting, the foundation. He would like to have 30 of that. Once again, I still think they're trading out. You'd have to really, really try to convince me otherwise. But I think they're trading out. Now, the other argument to that, Bradley, is you're not going to get the first-round draft pick that often. The Titans haven't, to be honest with you. They don't get the first-round draft pick often. So I understand the argument of when's the next time you're going to have a shot at a QB in the first round that nobody can get ahead of you and try to get it and everything like that. I would argue when you're going to have this shot to get a bunch of draft picks for the first round. That is my argument to it. I want this team to be good, and it gets good a lot faster the more draft picks you get. Simple math. That's how I see it. Just simple math. All right, that is the end of my. Yeah, no, but I really found that interesting. I'm trying to read it again. I read it multiple times because I have never ever looked at something like that and thought, that's a pretty good idea. But we 30 picks over the next few years, with 12 being in the top 100. That's an interesting way to look at it, as opposed to being like, I want this player and I want this position, and which is how I've been doing it. Just goes to show you. All right, give us the nugs. Spicy nug time. Bradley Mangold.
Before I move on to the options,
to the gentleman from Ohio.
What I liked about the interviews was everything was on point. Everything seemed very good. I hate saying this, but Titans fans, we did root for Will Levis. We wanted him to succeed. It just didn't happen. So, I mean, this is why the draft is such a big home run. I mean, it's going to be – I can't wait to watch it. I'm going to be –
I'll be there.
End of my seat, just like – I'm either going to be excited, happy, or just like, okay, I can see. So I got 4 options. They're all good well, some of them are good options. So I would also like them for trade back. I want to do Carter. Harold Landry's just not the same anymore, and that's okay. I mean,
So you
it
really want the
happens.
Giants to trade with us then? That's what you want because they're at 3.
Actually, I had like in my mind we can trade back to Cleveland, snag a couple draft picks, maybe bring back Jack Conklin, trade back again with the
You
Giants.
gotta let Jack go, baby. I'll never let go, Jack.
I
Yes, you
just
will. You will let go.
I wouldn't mind him over MPF and whoever we bring
He's
in,
the one
but
that got away from you, isn't it, Brad?
AJ Brown's still my big one.
Come back, baby. I didn't mean what I said.
So here we go. And shout out to Mike Frabel. He's grabbing some former Titans coaching to bring back to New England really quick. Yeah, boy. So option 1 with the quarterback is we can stick with Will Levis, which
you're not going to do it. They're not.
It's a very low chance. Brian Callahan doesn't want him. Rand Carthon,
you will not sell a single ticket to that game if you tell me Will Levis.
That's what I'm saying. So that option, it's up there because it's just going to be up there. But like I said, very low percent chance. I don't see it.
Point of order, Your Honor. I respect Peyton Manning. I respect everything he says. But he says, well, we should really hold on to these quarterbacks and make sure they're properly trained and whatnot. Baker Mayfield has suddenly appeared in his 6th year. You've got Darnold, who's appeared in his 5th, I think. Like, are we just supposed to hold on to a guy and hope that he shows up in year 5 or 6? Or I don't understand. Like, how much time are we supposed to give a quarterback? Right.
So
you don't have a lot of time.
Right. Baker is a great example. In Cleveland, he wasn't bad. He was just inconsistent up and down, but that's Cleveland. They've been struggling with quarterbacks.
He also had to grow up a bit, too. He had to grow up.
But, then he went to the Rams or Carolina next. I think it was the Rams second, where him and Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, I think or Jared Goff was at the time. Can't remember, but went to Carolina. Carolina is a dumpster fire right now. I mean, hey, Panthers are not judging right there.
They've got some. They're starting to get some momentum there, though.
Yeah, Bryce Young's turning around.
Yeah, they might have their guy.
But then he goes to the Bucs. Jameis Winston was a flop. He had the yardage and touchdowns, but the turnovers killed him. Tom Brady comes in, takes it to the Super Bowl, wins it. He retires. They bring in Baker. Now, the good news about Baker is he's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin when he's healthy. Some good tight ends. They got some solid tight ends. They don't got Gronk anymore, but still, it's a good situation for Baker. Baker also was a former number 1 overall pick. So he had, and his college credentials were good. So he knew what he was doing. Sam Darnold, I mean, he had some college blunders against Ohio State playoff game. I think it was not the playoff game, my fault. I think it was just a bowl game at the time. Sam Darnold did what he did in this year's playoffs. He saw a ghost. He looked awful. God, he looked bad that night. Offensive line was bad, but so was his accuracy. Even when the offensive line blocked, he either held onto the ball too long and hesitated, or he missed a lot of throws. And that's my dream scenario to Jay Wright. What I was going to say was I wanted to trade up for J.J. McCarthy, maybe make a trade. But after Sam Darnold crapped the bed, I'm pretty sure J.J., former 10th overall pick, I think that blessing, I think his injury was a true blessing in disguise. Got to sit a year, get to learn from Kevin O'Connell, who's a good head coach. But unfortunately, and I hate when people say, oh, Justin Jefferson was on lock. Well, he was double covered. You don't throw to a receiver when he's double covered. I don't care how good they are, unless he's Megatron. Yeah. No, I agree. So if you go to option 2 is, can we trade Will Levis for a hooker or a Trey Lance? That is a real possibility.
Oh, you said hooker, and I was like, what, like a hook, like a prostitute?
So I won't mind hooker, Trey Lance. I don't know what happened to him at the being drafted number 3 overall, but the Will Levis situation, like I said, in college, guys, look up his college career stats: 46 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. It's not a great, and no disrespect to the state of Kentucky, but if you're playing football, Kentucky's not a school you're going to go to. If you play basketball, yes, go to Kentucky, but not football. You want to go to Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, Oklahoma, Texas. I mean, I'm not, trying to make fun of Kentucky because that's my neighbor to the south and your neighbor to the north, but
yeah, don't poop in their backyard.
You just don't want to go to Kentucky and play football there. So they could trade Will Levis for another quarterback. That's an option number 2. Option 3, I got 4 free agents who they could go after. Derek Carr would be the bottom of the barrel. Then there's Russell Wilson.
That's
Justin
my
Fields,
pick. I'll take Derek
Aaron
Carr.
Rodgers.
I would take Derek Carr. I'm in with it.
You got 4 options. The bad news is, convince them to come to a 3-14 team. That's the only bad side. You got to pull them away from whoever does pursue them. But that's the beautiful thing about the draft and free agency. Now, option 4 is we do draft Sanders or Ward. And that's the meme king right there. So I didn't think about this a couple days ago. Shedeur Sanders has been getting prepped for the NFL probably since he was born by his dad, both brothers. That's another reason why
we interviewed him today. We interviewed him today down the
I
bill.
heard they were very impressed with him. So if I were to draft a quarterback, I would take Shedeur because of his dad. His dad played in the NFL.
He fits Callahan. He fits what Callahan wants.
Exactly.
And
if I do draft him, I will still bring in a great veteran to help him learn. Because it's going to take us a while to rebuild. I mean, Shedeur Sanders is not going to.
You have to forgive Scott. He's a very angry Patriots fan because Joe Milton came in and won that game.
I wouldn't mind Joe Milton either. That's another possibility, but
Bazooka Joe. I'll take Hendon Hooker.
If we do draft, I hope it'll be Sanders. Nothing against Cam Ward. I think, like I said previous, Sanders I think is a better fit with Brian Callahan. And the good news is Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders both had better college careers than Will Levis did. That's the good news. Cam Ward he had Miami in the college football playoff talk for a little bit. Sanders had Colorado up there buzzing for a little bit. He was in the Heisman talk for just a little smidge, but he was still in there. No, God, Teddy Bridgewater. No.
I don't
so
get
those are
that
4
guy.
options. I'm just saying, I still would like to trade back, but if we do draft a quarterback, I'd rather take Shedeur Sanders. I think just, his dad being Dion and prepping him for this moment since probably he picked up a football, whatever age, 2 or 3, gives him a better realistic idea of what the NFL is going to be like, what it can't be like. And, hey, he knows how to play behind a bad offensive line in Colorado, so that's good news. But like I said, Brian Callahan likes to pocket quarterbacks. Shedeur Sanders is a pocket. Cam Ward is an improviser. That's what Will Levis is supposed to be like. But go back to what Jay says. No, Will Levis exactly has, 2 or 3 wins in his pro career. He's had so many bad games, and there's nothing we can do.
That's Scott. Let me read you that quote again. I'm just going to keep reading this quote over and over again. Tell me, as far as the draft mentioned, he hopes to have 30 picks over the next few years, with 12 of them being in the top 100. That certainly sounds like a trade back to me. And he keeps talking about foundation. I think they're getting out of there. I don't see you can't do that and get all those picks without trading back. There's just no way. There's just no way.
And I love Travis Hunter, but not worth the number 1 overall pick.
I'm not sold on him. Everybody has told me everything. It's so funny because all these national guys, they know your team, right? And as soon as they say a generational talent, they start rattling off Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter and all these guys. I'm like, you guys have zero clue. You have zero clue what they're betting. Now, I think Scott told me, maybe tweeted about it, I don't remember. Scott, didn't Vegas have Travis Hunter going to us? What weren't the odds 4-1, 3-1, something like that? If you're still with us, let me know, Scott. Joe Milton, my number 4 first round next year, and number 1 pick. What is wrong with you? You're a sick man. Joe Milton did his job. Leave Bazooka Joe alone.
He got Mayo fired.
No, I wouldn't either, Jay. I'm not touching. I don't want to.
Well, then that's the.
Let's say that like I have a choice in the matter or whatnot. Like, look, obviously, I'm going to support whoever it is. Like, if they draft a quarterback, then I'm like, great. Well, I'm tied to this guy, but whatever. 3-1, Hunter goes number 1. Okay, so they didn't say Titans. It's just whoever's picks first is going to get Travis Hunter.
Well, and to go back to Jay,
ooh,
it's not that we can't. I mean, everybody has a chance to become the Jaden Daniels, which, I mean, we don't know who saw that coming. How good Jaden Daniels is playing this year is unbelievable. Caleb Williams had a good year. Drake May had a good year before he got injured. Bo Nix had a great year. And then Michael Penix, we haven't seen enough from him. J.J. McCarthy, I think, is going to be a solid pick. I'm glad he got to just sat for a year and learn. And I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. The last 10th overall quarterback who got selected and sat for his first year was Patrick Mahomes. So, just saying. I'm just kidding. That's just a little friendly.
My thing is, and first time G was not going to take. Yeah, I happen to agree.
And the next good quarterbacks coming out is Art Manning.
You're here.
Dylan Raiola. I mean, so the thing is, like, and that's the sad part about college football is that the offenses they run, it doesn't work in the pros that well because they're running no pace. Hey, we're just gonna no huddle, just go. That's what makes it so tough. I mean, C.J. Stroud, Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix. Oregon Duck fan here. I didn't think Bo Nix would be that good this year, and he was good. Jaden Daniels, lights out. He's one away for a Super Bowl. And this is the bad part, though. I mean, the reason why we might draft a quarterback is because Will Levis played so bad. That's the sad part. He's. I hate to say this, but he's kind of handcuffing the entire front office. Like, hey, what are you gonna do? You got this guy as your quarterback. Head coach says, I don't want him. The guy who drafted him is gone.
They've said patience over and over. I think they're in on it. They know it's going to take time. So
I can't watch Will Levis no more. I just can't.
Yeah, are you going to be a straight jacket? I can't watch Will Levis anymore.
Yeah, it's going to be like that. What was that movie called? Bird Box? There's going to be watch him play.
Bro. Oh, yeah.
Watch him play. Yeah,
you watch this. Watch. Look at it.
I mean,
if Cam Upshader went in last year's draft, they are second-round picks. I agree.
Well, yeah, because last year's draft was stacked.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Williams, Daniels, May, Nix, Penix, McCarthy.
I feel in my soul that we're trading back. I
hope.
If they keep talking about what the Packers do and being patient and building foundations, you build foundation and having 12 in the top 100, you have to trade back. You have to. And there's no better time than now to do so.
And there's also free agency, which, God, I hope I'll take Justin Fields or whoever, is available. We have to see what the Steelers do with Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr. Those are only 4 quarterbacks I would consider touching. I don't think Sam Darnold wants to leave Minnesota. I mean, he had a bad playoff game, and I don't think he should. I mean, I wouldn't leave Justin Jefferson if I had him on my team. So,
I wouldn't leave Kevin O'Connell.
No, he's a good head coach. I mean, Kirk Cousins, I want to touch. I think he's done. I mean, good quarterback, promise. I think he's just at that limit now where he's just done. But I mean, it just sucks. We got so much. We still need 2 wide receivers to replace. We need a slot. We need a a true number one because Calvin Ridley, I think he could be a number one, but I think he's better as a number two. Tight end is still a talk. I mean,
they're going to draft a wide receiver. They're going to draft a wide receiver. I wouldn't.
Yeah, that makes me nervous. Makes me nervous.
Like
I said, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting what's going to happen. Just, it's oh man, it's just woo. It is such.
Man.
It's going to be. I don't know what to expect. That's the thrilling part is just watching and waiting.
Imagine me. I'm going to be there. So they're probably going to put me on TV because I dress like a peacock. So I'll be up there.
And that's
why if a quarterback's name escapes those lips, I'm going to be cheering, but just know inside that I'm dead. I'm dead inside.
I mean, they may not be the great quarterbacks, but they could. I mean, they could. The answer is could. Mm-hmm. Are they going to be better than Will Levis? I mean, you can't be any worse than what Will Levis did. I mean, he was bottom in QBR.
You buy yourself time. You buy yourself time with Hendon Hooker. This is what you do. You get somebody young like that and go for it. That's what I think.
Lance, get Milton,
somebody along.
Cooper Rush.
I would like Hendon Hooker, not because he's a Vol, but because I think he's ready to move up. And he's been mentioned to a couple of teams already. So it would be interesting. But besides D-line, ain't that the truth? Other than Abdul Carter, we need an edge, honestly, Jay. We need a nice edge. So,
yeah.
Some of us
I think
have
Carter is the best player in the draft. Especially his last bowl game, he was playing with one arm in that playoff game, and he still was wrecking it. So I think he's the best player in the draft, but it's just what the team needs, and I think we still need him. But it's just like I said, Will Levis played so bad and cost us so many games. It's just that's why we're here. I mean, the Bears game that should have been a W. The Jets game should have been a W. Packers, that was a blowout. That was a butt whooping. The Jags and Bengals could have been W's both. So,
but what he said is right. What he said is right, though. You have to trade back. You have to fix it. You have to fix it. So there's only one way to do that. Pick. Because I doubt they're going to want to do free agency. That's not how all those guys that have worked in the business or head of the team are going to do that. So
free agency is going to be rough. Not because, I know this. We were lowest in TV ratings, and we were towards the bottom of the league in attendance. Obviously, that sucks. So there's going to be a lot of changes, more changes coming our way. I can't wait to see what happens. I'm very giddy and anxious to see what happens. And if Will Levis is the starter by some miracle,
he's not.
I'm just saying, if he is, I'll support him. You're in a Titans jersey, I'm going to support you, but you got to play good. Otherwise, I'm going to. And I can't remember who I was talking to about this. Like, when you make mistakes, it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. You have to grow and learn from them. So far, Will Levis is not. He still does the same stuff. Double coverage throws, panics in the pocket. Those types of stuff is hard to teach. And he's not young. He's going to be 26 next year. So, and he's still young, but he's making these mistakes. I'd rather have him be 22, 21 years old, not 26. So
we get it. You hate Will Levis. We understand.
I don't hate him. I hate what he's doing. I don't hate him personally. I don't know him. I just hate how he's playing.
If you're a Titans fan or anybody that really just wants to know a coach's insight, totally go check out that one-on-one interview with Easton Freeze on A to Z Sports. It's pretty good. It's rare that you get someone genuinely talking about things, and Callahan was pretty genuine. Pretty honest with his performance as well. It
not
was
shy.
kind of refreshing. No, he was not shy at all. about how things went this year. But that's what it was. We had so many interviews today and so many quotes.
It was a lot.
Welcome, Mike Bargonzi. You're definitely needed. He already had text messages asking what how much the trade would be. There's a line from a movie called Soap Dish, and all the actors are fighting each other over a soap opera. Either they go or I go. He says, the producer goes, "This is one of the hardest decisions I've ever made, but I get paid $4.5 million to make them. So here you go." So that's what it is, really.
Please, Justin Fields, please.
Nah, give me car. Let's ride the car, baby. Let's ride the car. Get in the car, baby. We're getting in the car.
All right.
Ooh,
I'm ready for
Hold on. We both had to stop because we just saw a paragraph. Daniel Jones is better than Will Levis. And yes, Sam, go young enough to where they're promised, but not old enough to where you sell the fans no hope. Titans roster isn't ready to win yet. Rodgers, Cousins, Carr, these guys aren't the answer. Go youngish and ceiling. Hooker, Fields, Jones, etc. Yep. Let me in. Bring me in. The water's fine. Let's do it.
I'm okay with that, except for Daniel
the fighting Jeffrey Simmons.
I don't mind the paragraph, except for Daniel Jones. We can just scoot his name out of the way.
What's wrong? What's wrong, Brad? Maybe
Danny Dimes, no. Danny Dimes.
Would you rather have Danny Dimes or Tommy Cutlets?
That's a tough one.
I know.
I mean, I wouldn't mind Carr either. I mean, Carr at least worked with Brian Callahan, so that's not out of the question either. So, I mean,
we'll figure it out.
All right, let's get our picks on for the championships.
That's right. We have 4 minutes left. All right. So, AFC. I will not choose again. I will not bet against Kansas City until they are beaten, and no one has done it. They have said they're going to do it. Everybody can point, beg, plead, and try to convince me that the Bills are going to beat Kansas City. I haven't seen it happen yet. I haven't seen anybody do it. Until then, I'm picking Kansas City.
Fun fact. There's only 2 quarterbacks who beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. Only 2 have done it. And guess what? I said this before. I'm going to say it again. Just like you said it perfectly. I am not betting against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Not going to do it. I'm picking the Chiefs. I hate to do it. I want the Bills to win, but until they win, I am not rooting. I can't pick against the Chiefs until they lose.
I agree.
Can't do it. They're winners. Defense is good too. So
I want
Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog, absolutely. Give me for the NFC. No one's going to beat. No one is. Listen, I love the Commanders story, but they're not. The Eagles have way too much firepower. Way too much firepower. And can the Commanders do it? Absolutely. But they're going to come at you with Saquon and A.J. Brown and a tush push.
It's funny because right now
I don't think the Commanders can stop. If I'm the Commanders, I'm lining everybody up on the line saying, I dare you to throw it. Because I have to, I might lose if you throw it, but I'll definitely lose if I don't stop Saquon Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I see it.
I have Jalen Hurts, and I know a lot of Eagles fans. I got a lot of friends who are Eagles fans. Jalen Hurts is the worst quarterback left in these playoffs. He's not better than Allen. He ain't better than he's just the worst. Jaden Daniels, I would love to see him go. I got the Eagles going too because defense is good. Barkley's, geez, that offensive line, they give him a hole. He's gone. I mean, shout out to Derrick Henry and Barkley for incredible seasons. That Buffalo game was wild. I can't believe that dropped 2-point conversion. That was cool. That was there. Just I never suspected Mark Andrews to drop that. And
most importantly, the refs.
I would say that the Texans game there was some bad calls, but CJ, I mean, they just couldn't get the offense going against that tough defense. So I got Eagles and the Chiefs. I mean, shout out to Jaden Daniels. I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring his A game. Lions though, they were compromised defensively. They had so many players hurt, and Jared Goff. Oh my God, I mean, Justin Herbert. I know he's been a great quarterback, but man, you gotta play better than that in the playoffs. Jared Goff, bye week. You got St. Brown. You got Williams, Laporta. You got Gibbs was going off that game. I think he was averaging 10 yards a carry. But the defense just could not stop the Commanders. Eagles defense is not injured as much as Detroit is. So it's going to be Chiefs and the Eagles. I got it. And it's Jalen Hurts got to play better. He has not. I don't know what's going on with Jalen Hurts, but you got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and a good tight end, a good offensive line, and Barkley. You should be playing a lot better than that.
Yeah.
So Hurts better step up because Jaden Daniels is coming for you. But shout out to Jaden Daniels. My God, what a
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I did not see that coming. That was a big turnaround. I just did not see it coming.
Yeah. I agree. Something smells to high heaven. So anyway,
Jalen Hurts.
That's the show. That's the show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for putting up with two Titans fans that have listened to a bunch of interviews this week. Is reading Rainbow on the side. Sometimes.
I think we had more interviews today than.
Dude, you mean this week? This week it was like, okay, who, what, okay, now, okay. I know the reporters had doing this. Oh, come on. Yeah. So many interviews. We will catch you next Friday at 8 p.m. Central to catch up on all Titans things and all Titans media.
When's the Senior Bowl? Is that this week?
This week. Yeah, this week.
I know they're gonna be.
We're down there coaching it right now, so they ought to be close. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We hope you join us next Friday for a little Fanboys Unleashed. Follow us on the Facebook page. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. First Down. Bradley does Madness Mondays on the Facebook page. I think he likes to call them just pure madness, just absolute insanity. But that's all we got for tonight. It's Friday. I'm about to go run off and do another pod, and Bradley gets to do whatever he wants, which is really nice. Anyway, that must be nice. We will catch you on the flip side. Fanboys Unleashed. We'll see you next Friday, 8 p.m. Central. Later. See ya.